My biggest fear is getting to the end of my life, knowing I had more in me, knowing that I had more to give, more lives to impact, more things to experience in my life. Average is not safe. Average is really expensive because average, mediocre, is robbing you from your potential. It's robbing you of what I know that you are capable of being. Nothing is going to change if you sit back hoping that someone is going to save you, hoping that someone is going to come and give you the permission to step into the bigness of your vision. That permission you need to give yourself. No one is going to give that to you. So today I want to walk you through a bit of a process, and we're going to have a bit of a tough conversation today. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Adehill Show. I hope that you are having the most incredible start to your week. I have one real fear in life. It's not failure. It's not the fact that I don't think that I'm going to make it. It's not judgment from others. My biggest fear is getting to the end of my life, knowing I had more in me, knowing that I had more to give, more lives to impact, more things to experience in my life, more risks, more rewards. One of my biggest fears in life is getting to the end of my life feeling like I was just average. And I have a feeling that is keeping you up at night too. That underlying feeling in your chest that you know that you have more in you, but your life is not reflecting that yet. And your biggest fear is that another year will go by and everything stays the same. And then another year will go by and another year and another year and another year. And all of a sudden we are 10 years down the track. And you are thinking, my life is just the same. Same, but different. I know that you want more for your life. I want more for my life. So today we are diving into an episode called Fuck Average. Because if I know one thing about you is that you don't come here and keep coming back, listening to my podcast, learning from me, sitting in receivership of what I have to bring to you. I know that you are here because you don't want to be average. You don't want to do average. You want to see how much life you can squeeze in to this one life we have. And that is no one else's responsibility but yours. So today I want to walk you through a bit of a process, short, sharp, to the point as always episode. Regardless of what stage in life that you're currently in, if you are in the beginning of your journey, the middle of your journey, or at the end of your journey, you are still here and you are still listening. And it's never too late to decide that you want more for your life. Nothing is going to change if you sit back hoping that someone is going to save you, hoping that someone is going to come and give you the permission to step into the bigness of your vision. That permission you need to give yourself. No one is going to give that to you. So today I want to walk you through a bit of a process, and we're going to have a bit of a tough conversation today because I know that that is exactly what you need. So this year is the year that is actually going to be different for you. No more hoping, no more praying, no more just wanting the thing. We're going to want the thing and then we're going to do the thing. And we're going to take full ownership of everything that we want, which means that certain things will need to change. Average is not safe. Average is really expensive because average, mediocre, is robbing you from your potential. It's robbing you of what I know that you are capable of being, the version of yourself that I know that you have within you, but you are not fully expressed. You are not exactly where you want to be. You have not executed on all of the things that you want to do because you are sitting back waiting for something. I want to call you forward in this moment and stop waiting. Stop blaming your external world, your circumstances, why you can or can't have something. How about we just bring the power back to you? Because average is not safe, it's expensive. The underlying knowing that you don't live up to your potential is slowly going to start to build this feeling of resentment. Not just to the life that you are currently living, but resentment towards yourself. Because you know that no one's coming to save you. You know that no one is going to go, here you go, here is your dream life, here is everything that you want and some, here is this big opportunity. You're welcome. It's not going to happen. And you know that. But what's causing resentment for you right now is that you are just not showing up to the level that is required in order for you to step into the bigness of your vision. Being average or mediocre is a choice. And when I sit with that, I also realize that being extraordinary, being excellent, being great, that is also a choice. And neither of those two will be gifted to you. Neither of those will just come to you. It's a choice. And you make that choice. I make that choice for my life. On the 27th of January 2019, that was the day I decided to change my life. Not because my life was bad, simply because I knew I had more in me. I knew that I didn't want an average life. My life wasn't bad. My life was great. But I didn't just want a happy little life. I knew I had more in me. I knew it. I knew it in my soul. And I sat down on the 27th of January, it's the day before my birthday. And I was feeling overwhelmed, a bit flat. And I was thinking, this is not how I want to feel the day before my birthday. So I had a big cry and I took a photo of my face and I captured the moment. I said, today's the day I'm going to change my life because no one is coming to save me. And if I want something different, I'm going to be the one that has to do it. And so I did. I decided on everything that I had to unbecome and let go of because before we even start to consider the version of you that you want to step into, there are certain identities that you are currently holding on to that are no longer serving you. There are certain friendships that you are currently clinging on to, but every time you spend time with them, you start to minimize your vision. You start to downplay the greatness of your vision and how much you want for your life because you are worried about the judgment or you don't want to make them feel small. So all of a sudden, their ceiling became your floor. And you are now operating in a below average capacity because you are not in an environment where you are expanded. So naturally, you start to dim your light. So naturally, you live up to the expectations of how people view you, of how people actually know you. You live up to the identities that you have held on to for many, many, many years and often since you were a child. I also want to remind you that at any given moment, all of the things that you want to unbecome, I want you to mirror the solution and you can become anything that you want. And there were certain things that I had to unbecome, and a couple of those was that I had a very poor money mindset. I spent a lot of time procrastinating, and I had really poor ability to follow through, and I did not own all that I was. And I was a major control freak. That was my list. And I decided to mirror the solution to all of those. And first and foremost, I became very wealth conscious. I mirrored the solution to everything that I had to unbecome. I then came up with my motto or my mantra, which is minimize the gap between your thoughts and your actions. Every time I think I need to do something, I go and do it. Now, that mantra is used all over the world, as well as my other mantra, internal stillness, external speed. I became the queen of following through. Everything that I started, I finished. No more 80% done project. No more shiny objects jumping from thing to thing. I followed through every single time. And I surrendered to the unfolding, knowing that I could only control the things that I can control, and I let go of the rest. And then I decided to own all that I am. Not some parts, not only the parts that I believe I'm going to be accepted for. The only person that I need to be accepted for and by is myself. And I became all of it. And the moment I knew that I had now stepped into a version of myself and become everything I knew I had to become in order to step into the greatest of my vision, I had to define what that vision was. You need 3 things in order for you to get to where you want to go. We can sit back here and say, fuck average, but we need to define what the opposite to that is. We need to define what excellent is. And there are 3 things that you need so you can get to where you want to go. And that is 100% clarity on your vision, 100% belief that you can do it, and 100% execution. And you can't have 2 without the third. If I have all the vision and all of belief, but no execution, I'm not going to get there, am I? Or I have all the belief, but all the action, but I don't have clarity on my vision, you're just going to spin the wheels because you don't know where you're going. And you can have all the vision and all the execution, but no belief, you're not going to get there, because if you don't believe it, no one else will. And when you commit to taking radical responsibility for where you're at right now, we bring everything that we keep in the shadow, we bring it into the light, not because we are trying to make ourselves wrong. We are calling ourselves forward. We're bringing everything that we keep in the shadow, those things that you know about yourself that are keeping you stuck right now. Let's create a space for it. Let's bring it into the light. Because once we have the awareness, we can change it. Without acknowledgement, without awareness, we cannot change it. Take everything that you keep in the shadow and all of those things that I know that you have about yourself. I have them about me too. That I just get pissed off about. And I'm like, you can't be running the show. I was so angry at the procrastinator in me. I spent so much time thinking about the things that I wanted to do instead of just going to do the thing. And I still have those voices come up in my mind. But now I have learned to trust myself that I still have the voices come up. That is okay. But what matters is what I do in that moment. Do I go back to the comfort of my voices to say, tomorrow is another day, I start on Monday? You don't have to do that now. Whatever bullshit excuses I come up with, I can let that feed the comfort in me of not needing to go to the next level. Or I can choose a different path. And that path is not always comfortable because it requires radical honesty with yourself, especially when no one is watching. There are only 2 things that are stopping you from getting to where you want to be right now. And number one is your fear of trying. Because for as long as you don't try, you don't fail publicly. But if you don't try at all, you fail. You 100% fail, but you fail privately. No one is going to see it, but it's going to eat you alive because you are not trying. And number two is the opinions of others. And that is the most expensive rent that you'll ever pay. Is the real estate that other people's opinion take up in your mind. How they think of you, how they perceive you, the shit they talk about you. At the moment, you are operating within your comfort zone so that the tall poppy syndrome that we have here in Australia, as soon as you do better than someone, oh, let's drag that person down. Let them try and drag you down. Let them. Go on, try. I've had that many people that have tried to talk shit about me. I've had that many people that have told me that I'm not good enough, that I can't do it. Who do you think you are? Guess what? Water off a duck's back. Unbothered. Completely unbothered. Because the opinion of others are not paying my bills, are not feeding my kids, are not getting to the end of my life being proud with my achievements. And I find so much pleasure in knowing, and I know, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but the people that are doing better than you will never spend their time criticizing you. So if you receive judgment from anyone around you, take that as an incredible sign that they are behind you. Imagine being the center of attention of someone's main chapter, whilst you are completely unbothered, unwavering, convicted in what you want to create for your life. Let them. Let them. Because once you have clarity on your vision, and I want you to sit with this for a moment and just to think about, what is your 10x vision? If you could completely reinvent yourself, how you show up, how you dress, how you present yourself, the direction that you are taking and how you carry yourself, what would change? Own it. Write it down and own it. Not half in. All in. I've started to claim and own everything that I want. Open arms. I am ready. I'm ready to be seen. I'm ready to be felt. I'm ready to move. And if people can't handle the bigness of my vision, they are not for me. And that is okay. But I know that there are currently people out there waiting for you to rise. They are waiting for you to step into the bigness of your vision. And if you are worried that you are going to outgrow people, please outgrow them, because there are currently people waiting for you to rise so they can meet you at that level. They are waiting for you to rise. Your clients are waiting for you to rise. The people around you are waiting for you to rise, that are currently friendships and people in your life that you have not met yet, because they are waiting for you to rise, to step in to your 10x vision. And with that must come shedding in your current identities. Let go of everything that is not serving you to where you want to go. Have your line in the sand moment, and this does not have to be a 6-month process. It's a decision, and you get to make that decision today. That average is not who you are. I know that you want a big life. You want a significant life. You want to make great impact in this world, and you want to have money and wealth coming out of your ears. And I want you to Be able to own it with an open heart, understanding that the better you become, the greater this world will be. I want you to upload a post on social media that says, fuck average. As your line in the sand moment, then go and act accordingly. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to call you forward into the greatest version of yourself that I know lives within you. I am so excited to witness you rise. I believe in you. I am proud of you. And the world is waiting for you. Thank you for tuning in. I can't wait to see you back here next week for another show.